What is going on, snipers? Naeem Al-Obeidi here. I hope you're all enjoying your day today. Let's go ahead and just dive right into our daily cryptocurrency content and analytics for today. We're going to be looking at price predictions for Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Ripple, and some other coins from our user request. Being the fact that the market right now is in a very uncertain zone, you can see we're really looking to find support here with Bitcoin around 6,300, and we're starting to fall towards that level. So we're going to see if we can hold on to that support level, because 6,300 right now is a very important level here to watch for Bitcoin. But we're just going to dive into our technical analysis for this video, because I definitely want to start covering a lot of these coins, knowing that the overall market is in a discount right now. Remember, the market's typically going to be seeing a swing low followed by a swing high, and right now you can see we're pretty much at the bottom of this swing low, and what we're going to expect over the next couple of weeks is a swing high, or at least another period of green somewhere along these levels to hopefully go ahead and curve and form another fractal formation here, testing or going back into this overall huge pennant here that's forming, as you can see here with this blue line forming this wedge or a pennant where you see a descending resistance, a descending resistance and an ascending support level. So that's what we're watching right now for Bitcoin. I am hoping that this right here, 6,300 and 6,100 at most, can act as the overall bottom and absolute bottom for Bitcoin now, to confirm the triple bottom that we've been looking to confirm that occurred here in February 5th, and then followed by April 6th, and then now hopefully in July. So looking to see what's going to happen here with Bitcoin. Let's see who we have in our live audience today. Sam Brown says it needs to hurry up and go under 6K. Well, here's what I'm telling you. Understand, this is a very oversold asset class right now. So to say that it's going to go under 6K, I don't think it'd be there for too long. Just knowing that there is a huge buyer's market right now for Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, especially with all of the overall developments and advancements in technologies that are occurring right now, and the maturation of the regulation. So that's just my personal opinion here. Dave Hubner says, oh yeah, Naeem live, awesome. Yes. Tilly4 really says, last year the market cap was 50 billion. These are not discounts. They are still overvalued. The decline will continue to about 3,000 BTC in my opinion. Bull run in 2020. What does the community think about that? Why don't you guys leave that in the chat or in the comments? What do you guys think about Tilly's comment there? Karan BTC says, do you think futures ruined BTC? Well, futures definitely allowed Bitcoin to become more of an institutional investment. And the reason I say that is because understand these institutions are looking for these investments that they can make that are safe, in the fact that they understand that there are regulations that apply to that asset class, whereas Bitcoin doesn't necessarily have those implications or necessarily those regulations, which in my opinion hinder Bitcoin from receiving institutional money. And I think that's why we're not seeing that $1 trillion plus market cap just yet, because I think institutions are still waiting on the sideline to then hopefully, as the regulations mature, put money into the asset class. So that's my personal opinion on that, and it's something I've talked about for quite some time. Munuru says, happy Eid. Yes, happy Eid to all of you celebrating that holiday here. Austin Twist says, next bull run will begin in 2019. Well, let's go ahead and pull up Litecoin's technical analysis. I think Litecoin, in my opinion, is showing some nice signs of a potential reversal here. You can see with this daily candle yesterday, we saw a nice amount of buy volume. Today, we're seeing a little bit of decline with the overall market. As you can see here on CoinMarketCap, the majority of coins are down today once again. However, we are still holding important key support levels for assets like Bitcoin here, looking at it at 64.75 right now in overall market. But looking at the Bittrex chart, it was already under 6,400. I think 6,300 is really going to be that support level that we're going to want to watch with Bitcoin. Now, what I do like here is you can see we are seeing this negative divergence in seller volume. So we're seeing less and less sellers come in and bring these prices down, and we're starting to see this MACD go into these oversold regions, whereas in the past we've seen it curve back and then form and complete that cup formation, allowing us to see higher price levels and higher swings, which is really where we're looking to make our money. We're looking to make our money at these large swings. So looking at Litecoin in general, obviously you can see the EMA is quite above price levels, which is very bearish. And what I'm looking to see right now is when Litecoin can finally go above that EMA to have confirmation that we're going to start to see a run up, just like we saw here, where we were under this red line here, which is the EMA, and then as soon as we popped above that, you can see how we followed that ascending trend up, seeing almost 40% gains here just after we went above that EMA. So that's pretty much what I'm watching right now for Litecoin and a lot of these other cryptocurrencies. And the reason I say that is in order for us to go above that EMA, we're probably going to have to see a surge of volume and buyers come into the market and an intense amount of buyers. And the reason I say that is because we're really looking to see that sharp reversal back up, because typically when we've seen these sharp reversals, that's been the initiation to these uptrends. So that's what I'm looking at right now, and hopefully that does occur sometime soon so we can finally get back into this triangle that we were previously in here for Litecoin. So knowing that this is obviously low prices in comparison to what we saw in December, we're looking to get a position in that sometime soon. So Dizzy said, hey, so what happened to your bullish on CIS? I would still say I'm very bullish on CIS coin. If you've looked at their development and their roadmap, they've been making a lot of progress. And not only that, the overall market's obviously down right now, and CIS coin is just one of the coins, you know, in the market. So it's obviously seeing a decline, but I still think that it's important to be aware of the projects that you're truly bullish about right now while the prices are low, so you can initiate your positions now, not later when prices are a lot higher. So hopefully that helps. Buy CryptoPig says, exchanges have all the power to stop this. Protect the investor. Orders under a year average should not be accepted. That will bring investors in and will protect those already in. Interesting thought. Paul Sierra says, I went out for a run yesterday and the only thing I was carrying were my keys and phone, and I wanted to buy a protein shake, but I didn't bring money. If BTC was accepted everywhere, I would have been able to buy my drink. It's 2018. We should be able to buy stuff from our phone. Well, it's funny you say that, because if you go to China, the majority of transactions are on an app called, I believe it's WeChat or something like that, but they make all of their transactions for the most part on an app. So they're already kind of transitioning into that digital economy. And that's definitely what Bitcoin is proposed to do, right? It's allowing our economy to become digitized. And that's what we're seeing happen with Ripple, for example, helping, foreign transactions from being made. And that's kind of their niche, while Bitcoin is almost acting as a storage of value and Ethereum's acting as a utility. So there's a lot of these different use cases, but the point is we're going into a digital economy, which is what's cool. Vincent says gas too. Yes, you definitely get the gas as well. So let's pull up our next analysis here for Ripple. I want to definitely go over Ripple here. We're going to look at the Satoshi valuation here for Ripple, knowing that we are consolidating here. What I do want to point out is we've got this obvious ascending support level forming here with Ripple. And then not only that, this 50-day moving average and the EMA are starting to converge together, and we're seeing price levels consolidate along that point. In my opinion, it's a very good sign, because understand the last time that happened here with Ripple, we saw this huge uptrend. So knowing that this 50-day moving average alongside with this current EMA are maintaining its levels, in my opinion, that consolidation could eventually lead to a breakout. As you can see, you've got an overall pennant here forming if we were to combine these ascending support levels alongside with this overall pattern here. We've got that little wedge here forming here. So interesting to see that with Ripple. I wouldn't be surprised to see some sort of breakout soon with Ripple, especially with all of these partnerships that they've been establishing over the past few weeks. They've really transitioned from just focused on banks to now focused on other small businesses and things that are a little bit more practical than just banking. So that's going to be exciting to see with Ripple, especially with their partnership right now with MoneyGram, as well as Walmart and Apple. So it's going to be exciting to see that. Let's see here. Ryan says, what's up, Naeem? Sorry I'm late. No, it's completely fine. Mr. T says Ripple going down. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at Ethereum as well, because I know a lot of you are holding Ethereum. Ethereum is actually the coin that we were talking about several days ago as the better bet in regards to the expectation of seeing higher price levels over the next few days with this upswing. And that's exactly what we saw with Ethereum. We saw an outperformance with Ethereum than we saw with Bitcoin. But that kind of works in both sides, because it also works in the negative side too, right? You see more of a negative decrease with Ethereum than you see with Bitcoin. So obviously Bitcoin has a little bit more stability, it seems like, than Ethereum, and less volatility. And I think the volatility can really be advantageous in this market, because understanding how to utilize volatility properly can really allow you to take advantage of these swing highs and swing lows to go ahead and walk out in profit. And that's really what we're looking to do. Now, what I'm really liking about Ethereum, obviously we understand the use case and the intrinsic value Ethereum holds, but not only that, I think we've seen a lot of a sell-off here due to the EOS drama and the whole hype of EOS coming out with this mainnet and things like that. But in reality, I just don't think that we're going to see a lot of Ethereum's liquidity go into EOS. I just think that EOS is going to bring more liquidity. And I say that because that's exactly what we saw with Ripple when that went from the top, higher tens to now the number 3 coin. So I'm expecting that same thing to happen here, where Ethereum may have been quite a bit oversold just due to the fact that people were a little bit fearful in regards to EOS coming into the game. But in all reality, Ethereum still holds its true intrinsic value, and I can definitely see Ethereum being a viable platform years and decades from now, especially with the advancement and the team that is currently being held with Ethereum. So what I am looking at right now is this MACD. You can see we're seeing a little bit of a consolidation here around these neutral levels. And now it's just a matter of whether or not we're going to start heading down or up here with this MACD. And I'm going to be waiting for that MACD crossover, because right now with this RSI, we are following this positive divergence with this ascending support level. However, what I'm really watching now is this MACD, just to confirm any sort of crossover, to know that we're going to be seeing these higher price levels in regards to the Satoshi value. So that's what I would say here. Let's see. Johan says, I was at another tube earlier and he had 200 viewers and 159 likes, and it was full of trolls and drunk kids. High quality should get likes in my view. So likes. Thank you so much, Johan. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, we try our best to keep things as professional, as productive as possible here, of course. Hotel Moscow says, how low do you think ETH will go? I want to get in at a decent price. Well, knowing that we're at these 7 million Satoshi levels, I mean, this is quite low for Ethereum. I mean, if you were to look at Ethereum's chart here, you can see, I mean, we've seen Ethereum at levels as high as, a lot higher than 7 million. I mean, almost 15 million Satoshi. So that's over double where we're at now. And we know how much intrinsic value Ethereum holds. We know the use case Ethereum has. And I see no reason for Ethereum to be at these lower price levels. I can truly see this over 10 million Satoshis very soon. Sitting at 7.5 right now, that's a huge opportunity for you traders out there. So Mr. T says, Naeem the man, guys, smash him likes. Thank you so much. Oh, yes. If it's your first time here on Sniper's Tube, we'd appreciate a like, and you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoy this content. Terrence says, finally a live session. Love your work, man. Thank you so much, Terrence. Appreciate that. Psychic Sojourners, what's up from New York? Good to have you there. You're very welcome, Hotel Moscow. Pulsier says, when's the housewarming party, man? Seriously, though. Yes. We're really trying to get this place set in place so we can have the biggest crypto masterminds. I was actually with a EOS higher up today, a very, very big EOS block producer and holder, and it was awesome having lunch with him today. And we talked a lot about the different upcoming things here in this industry. All of these really large projects that are soon to be out, such as like Hashgraph, for example. If you guys don't know what Hashgraph is, it's a project that is not accepting public investors. Obviously, they're not doing an ICO. They just have so much funding on the back end that they don't need that, because it's such a great innovation. It's almost like a new blockchain, and it's cool to see that there's all of these larger projects that people are not really talking about or not really aware about, or it definitely doesn't get media attention, right? And knowing that, it's just interesting to see that what the media focuses on is a lot different than what's really going on in the back, because that's just one project. I mean, he named many different projects for me, and it was cool to know that there are all these projects going on in the background that not many people are familiar with, but it really will advance this whole cryptocurrency revolution, So Garth says, when is a good time to buy Bitcoin? I have some funds and would like to buy BTC, but maybe ETH is a better buy. I would say Ethereum is a better buy right now, just knowing, the type of diversity that Ethereum has. I've talked about this in the past. Ethereum, it's almost like an index fund, right? It's almost like a hedge fund where there's so many different projects built on Ethereum that it really almost can't be unsuccessful at this point because there's just so much stake in the game already, right? So I think out of the top 100 coins, 45 of them are built on Ethereum. So it's just going to be hard for Ethereum to fail, especially with all of these projects being built on Ethereum. So Marcus says, I have a friend who owed me money, so I had to buy him ETH and send it to me instead of hand me cash, LOL. C-Ron says, is ETH the new stock market? No, but what I will say is the cryptocurrency market in general is the new stock market, right? This is a global market. It's 24/7, doesn't close. There's no sort of, limitations, I guess you can say, to a certain regard. And anyone in the world can access it for the most part, other than specific areas. But this market is the new stock market, in my opinion. It's a lot more exciting, and there's a lot more decentralization and control within the community rather than within another entity. Juan says, what's up? Finally, I catch you on a live stream. Yes, good to have you. Mr. T says, is it a good time to buy more EOS? Let's pull up EOS's technical analysis and take a look at what we're seeing here with EOS BTC. Looking at EOS BTC, you can see here, we're still below that 50-day, but we're starting to test these resistance levels above this EMA. This could be a very positive sign here. You can see this right here could be that reversal that we're looking for, where we've got that swing low in expectation of that swing high. So this could definitely start to see higher price levels and follow this uptrend here, knowing that it's starting to test these levels above the EMA. EOS is looking really good. If you're looking to get a position in EOS, understand that now might be the time. So it's exciting to see EOS in this position, and understand that these levels down here were very clear accumulation zones, and knowing that we haven't really came down to these lower levels, I'm still very confident with EOS's price. Gabriel says EOS is overvalued, very risky. Well, I wouldn't say it's overvalued, because it's more so a different type of value, right? Ethereum has value because there's use case and intrinsic value. EOS has value because there's a lot of speculation towards the type of value that it will eventually bring to our marketplace. So there's two different sides of the coin here in play, but EOS could truly be extremely valuable years from now if what we expect to happen happens, which is a mass movement within the community onto the EOS platform, right? They're giving out airdrops, things like that. I think communities are going to see that attractive and utilize EOS quite prominently. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens there with EOS. I'm telling you right now, I've got a lot of buddies in the EOS game and very deep into EOS, huge block producers, and they're working on a lot of cool stuff. So Kron says, do you realistically think LTC will hit or be 1/5 of BTC? LTC has always acted as the silver to gold here in this market. So, it's Bitcoin's baby brother, in my opinion. Definitely be a possibility. I think the cool thing about Litecoin is there's a lot of integration already within the different marketplaces with Litecoin, since it's been around for so long. So that use case is what you need. And that's why I think EOS is actually really cool, because the distribution of these airdrops are going to allow for more community consensus and decentralization, and the coin to be spread upon many different people and be distributed properly, which is important in my opinion, especially in this type of market. Let's see here. Is XRP a confirmed security? I think that it said that it wasn't a security. Let's see here. Garth says, hi Naeem, we're a big fan of yours and love the Snipers Discord Patreon group. Thank you for the info. Can I ask you to do tea on Neo? Yeah, let's do Neo. And thank you so much. I appreciate that you're part of our Discord group and our premium group as well. So looking here, the cool thing I do see here is RSI is obviously oversold, right? It's sometimes kind of hard to make a bad purchase with RSI levels at those levels. Now, another thing to notate here is we are approaching these previous resistance zones, which could possibly act as support. Now, we did break a very key support level here with Neo, which is a slight cause of concern here, right around that 6,600 Satoshi mark. We broke that support, now headed a little bit lower. The next known support is really going to be around that 5,500 Satoshi mark. And if we were to break that, I think it would be a little bit more of a worrisome situation here for Neo. But knowing that it's quite oversold, knowing that these are accumulation zones, I don't see it as a bad asset class to start dollar cost averaging into. Once again, have some of your capital on the side so that you have liquidity to put in if needed. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't say that it'd be a bad thing to start dollar cost averaging into a coin like NEO where it's this oversold right now. Let's see here. BNB has real value. People need it to trade at the largest exchange, and they are getting fiat to altcoins soon. Yes, 100%. I've always talked about BNB being one of the most valuable coins in the market right now. Andre says, if BTC breaks 6K support, what's the next level down? It's really just going to be 5,900, but 6,000 is a big even. So as soon as it's below that, we're going to see some sort of reaction. So Cody says, your streams got me into altcoins a few months ago and a major help with market swings, especially the premium Discord updates. Big thanks to you and the technical analysis. Thank you, Cody. I really appreciate that, brother. It means a lot. And we really do it for the community. We're very passionate about providing for you all. And it's just really cool to get messages from community members saying that we've helped them in any way, shape, and form. And that's really what drives me and my team. So continue to send that feedback. We love to hear it. Johnny says, Linda is 2x in the last month. Can it keep up this run? Interesting. Ravi says, XLM, please. Let's do XLM real quick. XLM BTC. Take a look at what we're seeing here. Let's get a better chart here that has a little bit more data, just because this chart is lacking data. So I'm sure if we pull up the Bittrex chart, we'll have a little bit more here. Yeah, just like you see here with this EMA acting as a resistance right now that doesn't look good just yet. What I would say is, because we're so close to this EMA, just wait until we can go above that red to have a confirmation that we'll see, you know, some sort of large swing here with XLM. What I do like here is we are at these swing lows here, and we've previously crossed over here with the MACD. It was a fake out. We crossed back under, but you can see we're starting to point back up. So hopefully we can get that MACD over to go ahead and cross over, which would be a very bullish response here for XLM. Now, one thing I would caution you to is understand that this right here is acting as a very key support level here for XLM. And if we were to breach this level, we could start to see downfall in price like we saw when we previously breached that level. So I'd be very careful along these support levels here. I would first set up a stop loss here at 34.46 and then maybe another one at 32 just to stay safe here. Emmett DePacker says, OMG, you sound so depressed. I'm sorry, I'm focused and I'm just trying to make sure I can go through all of these you know, points properly so that you guys can understand what the technical analysis means, because understand TA is just keeping things simple, right? And you don't necessarily have to complicate it. Ear Dewan says, OMG, bro. Elastos. Christopher says, are we likely to stay in a bearish market till Q1 2019? I think we won't see action till NASDAQ exchange comes online. Interesting. Timothy says, still holding Zilliqa. Thoughts on Zilliqa, hold or not to hold? I should have taken profits at the top. I would say Zilliqa is still a project I'm very bullish on. Right now, at this point, I'm not selling anything just because of the fact that we're at these very low levels. I think right now the best way to create some sort of profit, regardless of what position you're in, is to start dollar cost averaging into the market in expectation of a swing high. So hopefully this has helped out y'all. This live stream is now heading towards 30 minutes. I don't want to take too much of your time. We did a lot of TA, and it's going to be exciting to see what happens as the next couple of days unfold for this market. And I would just say stay positive, understand the market's healthier than ever in a fundamental sense. We're seeing more regulations. We're seeing more, more intricate projects, more advanced level thinkers coming into this marketplace. And I think that's all just a melting pot that's going to lead to a $1 trillion plus market. And that's exactly what I'm expecting soon. So thank you all for tuning in. Dylan says, finally caught a live stream. Yeah, good to have you, Dylan, today. Hotel says, appreciate your time and knowledge. Thank you, Hotel Moscow. I appreciate you being on. Dylan says, thanks. You're very welcome. And thank you all for tuning in. If you enjoyed the video, like the video. If you're new, subscribe. And until our next one, snipers out.